Well, welcome, good evening to the May 23rd, 2022 meeting of Gaston County Board of Education. I am Jeff Ramsey, member at large and chairman of the board. At this time, I'd like to recognize our other board members. Mr. Dedman.
Lee Dedman, Gastonia Township.
Justin Davis, South Point Township.
Steve Hall, Dallas Township.
Robbie Lovelace, Cherryville Township.
It's good to see you back in the house again. Dot Guthrie, Gastonia Township.
Dot Cherry, at-large member.
Kevin Collier, Riverbend Township.
Brent Moore, Crowders Mountain Township.
Thank you. On behalf of the board, I would like to welcome everyone to this meeting this afternoon. We are getting close to the end of the school year. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
We're excited, and we have a full house this afternoon ready to celebrate Gaston County Schools, so let's get started. Our first order of business is to have our prayer and pledge of allegiance. I would like to ask our superintendent, Dr. Booker, to lead us.
Thank you. If you join me. Father God, we come to you with so many mixed things on our hearts. We think of those whose safety has been shattered, and we ask that you give them peace in this time of just total stress. We think of those who have excelled, Lord, and we recognize those, and we thank you for the gifts and what they share with our world. We think of those who have given so much to get us to this point. We thank you for our teachers, for our administrators, for the bus drivers, the cafeteria maintenance, all the folks that have made this year get to this point. We thank you for the healthcare workers that have gone above and beyond and supported us. We just ask that you be with us tonight and that you let us shine some of your glory in all that you do. We just thank you. Amen.
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 Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. Our next order of business is to hear good news happening in our school. Oh, I'm sorry. I did skip over. Our next order of business is to adopt the agenda. Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
Ms. Cherry, Ms. Guthrie, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Now we'll get back to the good news. I'm just excited to see people in the audience. I'm telling you, it's been lonely for 2 years. So I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Booker. We have a lot to cover tonight, but we're excited that we get to cover all these great students we have in our school system. Dr. Booker.
Thank you. It is truly a pleasure to be in a full house for tonight and to recognize student achievements. But I've got to tell the board, if we had wanted to recognize every student for all that they've done, we'd be here for days. And so while tonight will take a little while, this is only a small sampling of the great things that have gone on this year. So we are proud to recognize these, but I'll tell you, for each one of these stands behind teachers and folks that have supported them to get them here, coaches, great performing arts, but the academics. We have some just phenomenal success this year in spite of all that the world has thrown at these students. So let's just start off, and we're going to start in academics because that's what it's all about. And I tell you, I love saying the Pledge of Allegiance at board meetings, because to hear people and have a full room, so to really hear it, because I come up from a family that really appreciates the freedom that we have been given in this country. And we want to recognize Joseph Norris first tonight. He is from the Highland School of Technology, and he has received an appointment to the United States Air Force Academy. We want to thank Congressman Virginia Fox for nominating you, and I understand you plan to study aeronautical engineering and nuclear weapons and strategy, and you one day want to fight as a aircraft fighter pilot. Is that correct, sir? Yes. So this is We are honored to have had you as a student, and we look forward to hearing more about your accomplishments as you attend the Air Force Academy. Congratulations, Joseph. Ms. Cherry.
As Dr. Booker said, and Mr. Ramsey said, this is the highlight of all our board activities, is being able to celebrate our students, because that's what it's all about. And we haven't been able to do this for 2 years. And it just thrills me to congratulate you and tell you how proud we are of your accomplishments. I mean, if y'all know about the process to get into any of the military academies, it is arduous. And you have to truly be the best of the best of the best, because not a lot of people get in. So that's amazing, first off. And we can't wait to hear what things you're going to be doing. And we'll get to see you at one of the football games for sure, for sure. So on behalf of the board, we'd like to present you this certificate. And I don't know if they'll let you have it in your dorm room, so make sure that your parents get it for outstanding achievement, United States Air Force Academy, presented to you on this day by the board, signed by Jeff Ramsey, our chair, and Jeff Booker, our superintendent. So, congratulations. To start his next phase of life on June 23rd.
And the parents want to come up.
Yes, and if your parents are here, or your family, we'd love to have you come up if you like. You can balance me out. What? Yeah, no, will you shake your face in? Okay. Hey, you come over.
Take a couple photos and put Miss Montgomery in there. All right, Miss Montgomery.
Oh, we can't forget you, James. Sorry.
And one more. All right, thank you.
Thank you both.
Congratulations, man.
Next, I would like to ask Avery Lester from South Point High School to come forward. Hey, Avery. Avery has earned the Congressional Gold Medal Award, which is presented to young adults by the United States Congress for accomplishments in volunteer service, personal development, physical fitness, and exploration. The gold medal requires 800 hours of community service.
Wow.
Her activities included volunteering at Holy Angels with Meals on Wheels, focusing on swimming and diving to meet the requirements for physical fitness, taking an expedition to national parks such as Yosemite, Grand Canyon, and Sequoia to meet the exploration requirement. Avery, this is a nice one for me to see tonight. Congratulations on your Congressional Gold Medal. I remember Avery as an infant.
Congratulations, we're very, very proud of you. And I would have liked to go with Mr. Booker and you to all those parts too. How about Mr. Ford? Parents there.
If you don't mind.
Come on, Jennifer.
Open their certificate and you can just bend it backwards.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Ford.
Here you go, Mr. Ford.
Oh. Good next to the family, parents. Yeah. Thank you.
Ajanaya Brooks, please come forward. She is representing the Highland School of Technology. Ajanaya won the Quest Bridge Scholarship and will attend Rice University in Houston, Texas. This scholarship is a full tuition award valued at more than $200,000.
Wow.
She plans on majoring in cognitive science and minoring in psychology at Rice University. Ajanaya, it is a pleasure to have you with us tonight, and we congratulate you on receiving the Quest Bridge Scholar Award.
Quite a scholarship. Congratulations again. Parents come, please. See the baby.
If you would mind just opening up that certificate and bend it backwards.
You can do it all the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
This way. All right, Mr. Montgomery.
Montgomery?
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Wahazet Masih. Now, you know, you're going to the University of North Carolina. Tonight, you're representing the Highland School of Technology. But the reason she's going to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is because she has received the Moorhead Kane Scholarship. She plans to study in the Gilling School of Global Public Health and then go on to medical school and hopes to one day be a pediatrician. This runs in her family. 2 years ago, you may recall that her brother was stood before you as he also received the Moorhead Kane Scholarship. So congratulations to your parents as well as to you, and we look forward to more excitement. Mr. Davis.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to you. We're very excited for you. I hope you have as much fun there as my wife and I both did. We had a great time.
No, not that much fun.
We know you will too. It has so much to offer. There's so much you're going to be able to do there, and we're so excited for you. So congratulations again. We'll give you the certificate on behalf of the board. So thank you. Come on up, Mom. And congratulations to you. Thank you. That's so exciting. Come on.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'd like to ask Alan Chin to come forward, please. As he walks forward, you may recognize him because he was honored in one of our good news early in the year for scoring a perfect score on the math SAT.
That is awesome.
But that's not why he's here tonight, folks, because I'm going to tell you this is an honor. He is a graduate of the Gaston College, so already has a 2-year degree, but he has been given the opportunity for a full ride scholarship to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Most people call it MIT.
I also serve on the Gaston College Board of Trustees. I was at your graduation, and as a matter of fact, I know a good friend of yours, Ryan, told me all about you. Congratulations, this is a great honor. I present this for the Board of Trustees and the Superintendent.
We want to shake your brother's hand too, okay? Alan, get your brother.
Oh, we got one more picture, Steve. Hold on.
One more picture, yeah, big smile again.
Good for him.
Now do another one. Hands down. There you go. Perfect, thank
Good.
Next, I'd like to ask Samantha Bolton of Forest View High School to come forward. Samantha has a great story. She was accepted to numerous universities, but she found out that in 1953, because of racial segregation, her grandfather was not allowed to attend a university. And so when she decided among those universities that accepted her, she chose to be the first to get to honor him. And so she will attend Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta. Most of you know it as Georgia Tech. We congratulate you, Samantha, on this accomplishment.
Georgia's on her mind. As representative of the Board of Education, we'd like to congratulate you. We're so proud of you so much. Good.
Big mom smile there. Miss Townsend? Miss Townsend, you might get a balance it out. One more. Thank you.
Congratulations, way to go. Rambling.
Congratulations. Go to Yellow Jacket. We'll take care of that.
Next, I'd like to ask Rex Dover and Paolo Sexton to come forward, if we could, to recognize our Spelling Bee champion and Spelling Bee runner-up.
The spellers.
It looks like we have a stand-in for Rex.
Mississippi.
Well, Rex is a member of the Belmont Middle School community, obviously, as we have his principal standing in for him, and he won from a field of 43 students on March 29th. Also, Paulo Sexton from Yorkchester Middle School is here, and he came in second as the runner-up. And we wanted to take time to recognize both of these individuals and congratulate them and thank them for representing us in the Gaston County Spelling Bee, where they defeated private schools, charter schools, and represented public schools very well. So congratulations.
Paolo, on behalf of the board, we want to give you this certificate of recognition and want to congratulate you. Job well done. Way to go. And Ms. Redmond, on behalf of Rex, I'll give that to you as well. I happen to know Rex very well. He's one of my son's best friends and has beaten him 2 years in a row at Belmont Middle School. So we're proud of Rex. So that's fantastic. So very well done and way to go. We're proud of you.
Thank you. Paulo, do you have any family here?
I'm never going to spell any words.
Justin, I think his mom's with her.
Is your mom here? Is your dad? Right here? Come on up.
Please.
There we go. Here, you get right yourself some.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is this Kate here, the principal? This slide a little
There
bit more
you
this
go.
way. You're fine. Oh, there you go. All right. And one more. Perfect. Thank you.
Very proud of you, too. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to ask Seth Sammons to come forward, please. Seth is representing Bessemer City High School. There's a competition known as Satellite. It stands for Science and Technology Enriching Lifelong Leadership in Tomorrow's Endeavors. It's a STEM outreach and leadership development program that introduces high school students to science and technology-related education and career paths. Seth was only one of 60 sophomore students from across the state to be chosen for the Satellite Leadership Program, and we wanted to recognize him and thank him for participating at the other Carolina, NC State University in Raleigh. So, Ms. Cherry, Seth Sammons.
I called Seth. Is it your mom? I called Seth and his mom outside and I said, you can't come in until you smile. But they both lit up. That's just the way I am. I embarrass people sometimes, but I like to see people smile. But I'm super proud of you. They didn't have anything like that when I was in school because I'm old as dirt. So, but that's okay. So it just thrills me. No, I am old as dirt, but that's okay. It thrills me all the wonderful things that we offer and all the wonderful things that young men and women get excited about. And obviously, you were excited about this or you wouldn't have applied, would you? So, and one of 60, that's impressive. So, will you be going somewhere?
It was last week.
Or have you already gone?
I've already gone.
Well, how was it?
Very good.
Well, good.
It was an experience you can't really explain to people.
Okay. Well, one day when you want to, I'd love to hear about it. so on behalf, I'm not trying to embarrass you. It does excite me because it's so out of my realm what y'all are doing now. So on behalf of the board, please accept this certificate. We are so very proud of you and look forward to seeing the things that you're going to continue to do.
Thank you.
So I'm going to let you hold that. And Mom, I know you're here, and you get to smile again. Anybody else here that you? And then
This one.
Okay, and then we'll get Miss White up here. Doctor. Come on, Sheila. When did you go?
Yes.
Did you?
I dropped him off and said bye.
Mom dropped him off.
We can just
Oh, okay. Okay.
slide down just a tad. There we go.
You know, this is the only time he gets to boss people around.
And last one. Thank you.
Now, you can take it right
Now we will move our recognition to the fine arts. I would like to ask Jerry Bradley, Aaron Holler, and Ruby Ruiz to come forward. So Jerry Bradley is from South Point High School, Aaron Holler is from East Gaston High School, and Ruby Ruiz is from W.C. Friday Middle School. These three talented musicians recently performed as members of the North Carolina Bandmasters Association All-State Honors Band. The concert was held at Memorial Hall in Chapel Hill. In addition to the state concert, all three students performed during the South Central All-District Band Concert, which was held at Stuart W. Kramer High School. We wanted to congratulate all three of you on being All-State Band students. Mr. Moore.
Certificate of recognition. Aaron? Here. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
If you don't mind, would you please open the certificate and bend the password? There you go. Just bend it. There you go. And now I'll invite your band instructor to give bend yours. This right there. Sorry. Right.
And any family members that would like to join them for pictures, band directors, principals?
Yeah, we have everybody? I think we do. Is Mr. Hamilton here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. And one more. Thank you. Smaller version.
Okay. All right. I played grass when I grew up in those
Smaller version. Congratulations. What instrument?
Okay.
Congratulations to you.
I'd like to ask Aaron Watson of Forest View High School to come forward. Aaron is representing three others who could not be with us tonight. Isaac Laundry of Ashbrook High School, Nate King and Tristan Niagara, both from Stuart W. Kramer High School. All four of these students were in the All-State Chorus. When you think about All-State Chorus, oh, what is that? Well, 750 students from across the state applied, and only 176 were selected. Erin has been singing since she was 3 years old, and has dedicated 4 years to the choral program at Forest View. And recently, her vocal and acting talent resulted in her stealing the show as Audrey II in the spring production of Little Shop of Horrors. Congratulations, Erin, and to all of our All-State Chorus students.
Outstanding achievement of All-State Honor and Chorus. May the 23rd. Thank you. Do you have any of your parents here? And
Mr. Alston. Can you just bend it backwards, please? There you go. Thank you.
One of the things that we are blessed with in this community is to have a great appreciation for the arts. And our art show winners always are delightful, and the total show that is put on through an artist's eyes is always excellent to see from our elementaries all the way through high school. Tonight, we recognize the 3 overall winners from the Gaston County Schools through an artist's eyes show. Rhiannon Woolmuth from Hunter Huss High School won the Best in Show Award. Aaron Poteet from Ashbrook High School received the Director's Choice Award. And Southwest Middle School student Trinity Ledford earned the James C. Biggers Award. This is a great exhibit I encourage everyone to see, because it not only it does traditional mixed media, but it'll have sculptures, photography, painting, just to name a few. We've even had students exhibit their talents in creating cloth and costumes. So it's just always great. And we appreciate you 3 being here to be recognized as the best of the best in our artwork show. Mr. Ramsey.
Bend it backwards, please. Here.
do y'all have any parents or principals?
Bend it backwards. Parents and art teachers, so I'll come for art teachers. See that mobile one? There you go. Thank you. And one more. Thank you.
And y'all go around. And now, the next category in our good news is recognition for athletics. Now we're going to recognize the Cherville High School cheerleading team, who is led by Wendy Holt.
They were the state champions at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Cheerleading Invitational in 2 different categories. They participated in the North Carolina Cheerleading Coaches Association competition and won another first place state award. Since 2008, the Cherryville High School cheerleading team has won 22 state championships. Congratulations, Coach Holt, and I know that Ms. Lovelace is very proud of this group.
And I don't know who this should go to, but I'm gonna let each one of you hold it while I shake your hand. Congratulations. Job well done. And as I'm congratulating these young ladies, I must also tell you, every one of them excels in academics. I was not able to come to the awards banquet, academic awards, but I saw many of you with all of your accomplishments. Many congratulations, girls. All of the hours that Ms. Holt and Ms. Wilson get from these girls is unbelievable, and it pays off with 22 state championships. And Ms. Holt is also a former student of mine and a colleague. Okay, so I'm gonna let you hold this, and we're gonna get pictures first.
Would you all mind if I put Miss Holt in the middle, since she's got the certificate? There you go. Perfect. That's it. Perfect. Miss Lovelace, do you mind if I put you on this side?
I would love to,
Down
because
that.
this is my niece,
Okay, perfect. I didn't know that.
and all of the others are my friends.
All right, just smile. And last one. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Now, from the other side of the county, we'd like to recognize the cheerleaders from East Gaston High School.
The Warriors.
The East Gaston cheerleaders are coached by April Sadler, and they're here to be recognized for first place in the Super Varsity category at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Cheerleading Invitational. And prior to winning that state championship, the team took first place at the Piedmont Regional event. We are proud of East Gaston and their first place in the regional and state honors. Mr. Collier?
I've got to say, as a former alumni of East Gaston, played baseball there, and I say that because our superintendent was quite a baseball star through college himself, and the reason I bring it up is because I had a baseball coach one time that said, if you boys work half as hard as the cheerleaders, you never lose. Because he noticed how hard you guys work. So congratulations for all your hard work. It has paid off at the state level. Congratulations. And I don't know who gets to hold this. Do you want Miss Reap up here?
We'd love her up here. She
Okay.
can take a picture with us.
Miss Reap? Let her get in the middle. Where do you want me? Out of the way.
That's good, Mr. Collier.
Okay, this good over here. No, you get right there.
I guess you get to hold it too. Rah, rah, rah.
You're good.
I get to be part of this fun project. Yay.
Thank you. And if you'll form a line and shake hands with the board. Let's go, girls.
Don't be scared.
I'd like to ask Lauren Tolbert from the Highland School of Technology to come forward. The reason Lauren is jingling so much, she just continued to win state records and be a state champion. She is a 9-time state champion.
Wow.
She is set and holds and broken her own records in both cross country and track and field. She set another state record this past weekend. Lauren, the worst part about you graduating is I won't get these texts from all these events saying how well we're doing. So thank you. She also was recognized as the most outstanding performer. And so it has been a pleasure to be kept informed by Mr. Montgomery of all the recruiting, and you did it with honor because some very prestigious schools were pursuing you, and you turned them down early when you knew they weren't, which allowed other students to have that opportunity. You ultimately chose a great university because it will help her get to her goal of participating and representing our country in the Olympics. She plans to attend Duke University, pursue a degree in biology where she can go on to dental school and specialize in oral surgery. Lauren, it is a pleasure to have you here tonight to congratulate you for all your awards. Mr. Hall.
As you can see, I'm not a cross. I want to congratulate you. You've done a great job. And on behalf of the board and the superintendent, I present you this week.
Come on forward, please, parents.
Hold one hand.
Steve does cross country.
Thank you.
Come on.
Here. That's it, bounce out a little bit. There you go. One more. Thank you.
And that's just last week.
Congratulations, lady.
We're proud of you.
Congratulations. Very proud.
We're so very proud of you. Keep up the good work. Even makes Wilma Rudolph.
We have another state champion from Highland School of Technology to recognize, Asher Newman. Asher claimed the individual state swimming championship in the 1A, 2A 200-yard freestyle event. He's been on the school's swimming team for 4 years and has served as the team's captain for 3 years. This fall, Asher will attend North Carolina State University, where he plans to study engineering. Asher, congratulations.
Get him out.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You did good work. Daddy, you coming up and get a picture too?
I guess so.
We'll get you get in the middle because you're so tall too.
He was just.
Yeah, I know he does. Congratulations on your job. What do you say?
Just like maybe a little bit to the side this to the right.
Yeah, take so.
My right one.
Step down.
And one more. All right, Pastor Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost as tall as you are.
He is close.
That's starting to look like a Verizon bar.
It does, doesn't it?
Last one. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Give it a year or two, I'll be up there.
Asher, congratulations. What you got?
Congratulations to you, sir.
Congratulations, you guys. Proud of you.
I hope, members of the board, you all have been listening to, while we're talking about athletics, we're still talking about great academic accomplishments. I don't think you get into Duke without having a pretty good academic record, NC State, all these great schools. The next athlete that we're recognizing is also the student body president of Highland School of Technology, and it would be Miss Ashlyn Stevens. Ashlyn has been Conference Player of the Year for 3 consecutive years. MVP of the school, obviously, but this year she topped it off by being named the 1A North Carolina volleyball player for the state of North Carolina. Congratulations, Ashlyn, and thank you for your many accomplishments in Gaston County Schools. Mr. Collier.
I had to ask my mom, but outside hitter. Right. I had a daughter that played volleyball, so we're so proud of you representing Gaston County Schools. We couldn't be any prouder, and I know you got a proud mother sitting behind you too. So, would Mom like to come get a picture?
Dad's here too.
And Dad? Is he not? Okay. Here, I'm gonna let you hold that.
Or, all right, Mr. Montgomery.
Yeah.
So he's charging appearance fees.
And one more. Thank you.
And Ashlyn will attend Oglethorpe University.
By the way, that means she's got some moms. Congratulations.
Next, we'd like to bring up 2 individuals from Bessemer City High School, Janiyah Adams and Randall Pettis. Members of the board, you may remember last year we talked about Janiyah because she set a single-game scoring record. Well, this year she broke her own record and scored 55 points in a game. She is the first Gaston County girl basketball player to score more than 50 points in a single game. She was also named All-Conference and All-District in basketball. Randall did the same, broke a single-game scoring record totaling 60 points in a single game. The previous record of 59 points dated back to 1969. He is a two-time winner of the Gaston County Basketball Player of the Year Award, and he was named the Conference Player of the Year after leading his team to the 4th round of the state playoffs. We wanted to congratulate both of you, Janiyah and Randall, for all that you have accomplished in basketball, but more importantly, the citizens you are in Bessemer City High School. Thank you for what you do.
The coaches here and parents and family. Thank you.
Are y'all smiling?
And last one. Thank you.
You have dribbled of excitement. Continue to dribble. Good proud of you. Very proud. Very proud.
I'd like to ask Ryan Harris from South Point High School to come forward. Ryan is a member of the South Point football team, and he received an honor from the Charlotte Touchdown Club that is given to a school football player who excels in 4 areas: scholarship, sportsmanship, leadership, and citizenship. So this year, Ryan was recognized and presented by Luke Keekley Defensive Player of the Year Award, which comes with it a $2,000 honorarium given to the South Point Athletic Department.
Company, Ryan Harris, Charlotte Touchdown Club, Luke Keekley, Defensive Player of the Year. What a great character in that one. Congratulations. You got any family members who want to come out and take?
Ryan plans to attend UNC Charlotte this year.
All right.
Open the certificate and bring it back. Bring it backwards. Backwards. Mr. Ford, is Coach Hodge here? Yeah. Good. You want to stand next to Mr. Ramsey?
Oh, yeah, he's starting.
One more. Thank you.
Try and do it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, you could. No problem.
They'll find the uniform. I'll make a phone call. Congratulations.
So the last individual recognized tonight is by far not the least. As he ducks to walk into the room, we would like to recognize Sullivan Absher, another football standout from South Point High School. Only a junior at South Point, he ranks as the 10th best football prospect in North Carolina. And he ranks 22nd in the country for offensive tackles. But we wanted to conclude with him because he also ranks among the top of his students in the class of 2023 academically at South Point High School.
Let's just burn it.
Last week, he got rid of all the suspense, and live on CBS Sports HQ, he announced his decision to accept an offer from the University of Notre Dame to play football. Congratulations, Sullivan. Ms. Cherry.
Sullivan, have you learned this one yet? You're going to be a fighting Irish. Great stuff.
David Taylor's on his way.
So that is phenomenal. I know you're going to love it up there, and first thing that they're going to show you is Touchdown Jesus. So I'm a big Irish fan after the Bulldogs, but tell everybody what all the offers you have, because it's quite impressive.
We had Notre Dame, Chapel Hill, NC State, Tennessee, Penn State, among some other guys.
You better not say Georgia, because I'll have to tackle you. I have several that were his size too. But that is such an honor, and is such a prestigious scholarship, and we can't wait to watch you on TV, because they get a lot of TV time, as you well know. So go up there and do us proud, and hope you have a great year this year. So on behalf of the board, take the certificate, keep it safe, and honor it, because we are so very proud of you.
Thanks.
So I know Mom and Dad are here. Sister, if y'all want to come up, and then we'll have Gary up. And did I hear the coach is here too?
No.
I'll call him. So, what an honor.
Thank you.
You look good in green and gold. You look green and gold. You already look good in green.
He didn't mention out-of-state, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
All right.
This is a leap that you win, okay?
All right, Mr. Board.
Can you bring me back the
One more. Thank you. Congratulations. You'll have next year. First half play only next year.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, that completes our good news for this evening.
Well, I would say we're closing on good news, but hot off the press, we got really good news just a few minutes ago. We have one additional good news item to share this evening, and it's really great news for Gaston County Schools. We were notified this afternoon that our superintendent, Dr. Booker, has been chosen by his fellow superintendents as the Southwest Region Superintendent of the Year of 2022 and 2023.
About time. About time.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
may I
ma'am.
please make remarks?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. First of all, I was asked if I wanted to present some of the awards this evening, and I'm not feeling well, so I said no. But with all of the awards and presentations that we have heard this evening, I have been rejuvenated, because we have really seen that through the challenges that we've had and encountered within the last 2.5 years, we are truly proud of the accomplishments and achievements of our students. And then to add the icing on the cake, we hear that the leader of Gaston County Schools is now awarded Southwest Superintendent of the Year. Dr. Booker, we know that it wasn't easy for you nor your staff, but you know how to persevere. And we greatly appreciate your perseverance, your determination, your guidance, and your desire to see that though we were facing many challenges, Gaston County Schools had to accomplish or achieve as many educational goals as possible. So we congratulate you on behalf of Doc Guthrie. We congratulate you. I am very proud of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Guthrie. And I actually had a little bit more to share with y'all. He will represent us and all the school district in the Charlotte area in the competition of North Carolina Superintendent of the Year. This is a significant honor, and we're extremely proud of Dr. Booker and his leadership for Gaston County Schools. You may recall that Dr. Booker was named Regional Superintendent of the Year in 2016 and 17. So this time around, we hope that you'll be chosen as the North Carolina State Superintendent of the Year, because we cannot think of another superintendent who deserves it more than you. I know you navigated a lot of leaders around us. I knew you was the chair of that Charlotte region, and they depended on us more than we depended on them to navigate through COVID. Through the virtual learning, unbelievable what we was able to pull off. So I just, as a chair and on behalf of the board, we want to thank you for your leadership.
Thank you. It's really a reflection of all the hard work of all these folks that sit out here and our school leaders and the teachers and all that they do. So I just appreciate being a part of this team.
Be humble and accept it.
Thank y'all. And thank you for all the great news. Like you said, Doc, it's wonderful to see what our kids can do in Gaston County School, and we're proud of them. At this time, it's time for the board to hear for public expressions. We do have several who have signed up prior to the beginning of this meeting. Our board policy set aside the first 30 minutes of regular monthly meeting. Citizen address the board. Before they hear from the public, let me outline the rules of procedure. Citizens wishing to make comment and who have completed a request to speak form prior to the beginning of this meeting will be recognized by the chair and requested to step in the microphone to make their comments. Citizens will state their name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Members of the board do not respond to public expressions during the public comment period. Public expressions does not allow for comments as confidential personnel matters. Speakers who wish to give materials to the board will hand them to our clerk. The chair shall rule at all points during the public expressions. The first speaker signed up is Ava Clarkson. Okay. Second is Ryan Simmons. Third is Lauren Frady. And fourth is Josh Sawyer. Before we move on, I'm going to take a 5-minute break for us, and then we'll start after that. Thank you. back from a 5-minute break. The next item on the agenda is approval and correction of minutes. This item's on your agenda for action item. I need a motion for April 11th regular meeting, April 12th joint meeting with county commissioners. Mr. Devman, second. You motion, Steve Hall. Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. The next item on the agenda is allow the report from our superintendent on COVID-19 update.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. We have a brief PowerPoint for you related to our COVID-19 update. This wanted to go through and talk about throughout the year, we have worked with the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. We've tried to implement many COVID-19 protocols to mitigate the risk and help students stay safe in school. We've also done all that we could to mitigate any risk for our staff. We started the year with a mask mandatory policy. We promoted vaccination, and students had to be 6 feet apart. Students who were exposed and or symptomatic had to quarantine at home for 10 days. During our second 9 weeks, the quarantine period stayed the same. However, with your approval, we received a grant from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services and opened our own Gaston County Schools Testing Center. We also began our partnership with the ABC Collaborative and were able to begin reducing the number of days for quarantine for students who tested negative on days 1, 3, 5, and 7. Thanks to your support and willingness to participate in this program, students were able to return to school immediately if they had a negative test result. During the third quarter, we moved to optional masking. Students were able to distance 3 feet apart, and quarantine was reduced to 5 days at home, and we continued to work with the ABC Collaborative's Test to Stay program. We also opened testing centers throughout our district at one school in each feeder area. And in talking with the principal today, a lot of folks forget that was the time also when the hospital stepped up in their partnership with us and vaccinated anyone who wanted to be vaccinated. So all that happened in that third quarter. And so now, as we enter into the end of our school year, we're only quarantining students who are positive or symptomatic. We've begun opening up our schools with guidelines in order to host proms, field days, award days, and graduation. We continue to operate testing centers throughout our feeder sites and on Garrison Boulevard, and they will stay open until June the 3rd. I want to thank you for your support, and we continue to meet with the health department on a weekly basis. COVID is still active in our community. Over the weekend, there were 174 positive cases, 26 of those being pediatrics, which means it's 15%. You all remember it was as high as 25 and 28% during the peak. There are 11 individuals in the hospital. These are countywide statistics, not necessarily Gaston County. But you will know that for us, in the ABC Collaborative reporting, on May 9th we reported 5 positives, and on May 16th we reported 29 positives. So the numbers are still there. We, in fact, have 2 clusters that are related to some of the student activities that we have been allowed to have in this time period. So COVID remains, and we have to continue to work on that. And these charts here just provide you the numbers that show where we are through May, and just wanted to give you that current update. And we also do want to mention our partnerships continue with the Collaborative and the North Carolina Department of Human Health and Services, as well as our local health department. These partnerships have allowed us to have the most aggressive protocols of anybody in the state. Your support of piloting these programs have allowed us to keep kids in school, refine our protocols as fast as anybody, and to continue to have the guidance in the state. So this shows you our testing facilities and the activity that goes on at each of those. And then remembering that our testing guidelines, we will continue to have to quarantine students who are positive or symptomatic for 5 days, and those students can return immediately after a negative test or an alternative diagnosis. I just want to thank you again for your support through this time, and based on the agendas that we know and the time of your meetings, I believe this is the last time we have to ask you to take a vote on masking.
Yeah, thank you for that information. You are correct. The next item has been on our agenda every regular meeting this school year. This will be the final time we have to discuss this under current North Carolina law. All local Board of Education shall vote on face covering policies each month, either maintain the current policy or amend it. Our current policy is masks are optional in Gaston County Public Schools by all students, staff, visitors, and all campus. So do I hear a motion how you would like to proceed?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Davis?
I make a motion that we maintain our current mask optional policy.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Hall, second. Any discussion? All in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is a report from the Operation Committee. The Operation Committee Chairman is Lee Debman. The other members are Dot Cherry, Kevin Collier, and Brent Moore. Mr. Debman.
I think Ms. Cherry is going to report our minutes source.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the Operations Committee met on Monday, May 2nd at 4 o'clock here in the boardroom. The agenda and discussion included the following. Sonia McGraw, our attorney, advised staff and senior leadership are currently reviewing policy updates for consideration by the board, and they're on our agenda as an information item tonight. School nutrition staff provided updates on the summer feeding program, which will include hot and cold meals for students throughout the summer. Also, free and reduced meal applications for the 2022-2023 school year will be available for parents to complete and submit by July. So please, parents, take note of that and make sure that you get in the necessary documents. Facilities and maintenance staff shared information concerning the summer projects to be completed, which include life safety, painting, trailer relocation, carpet removal, and various flooring projects. Updates were also given on the Stanley Middle School roof and the Stuart Kramer High School wall. Morgan Hushard, Executive Director, shared that design work, cost estimates, and construction timelines are being developed at this time for the new Greer Middle School. The committee will continue to receive updates as progress is made. He also shared that the easement work for the town of Dallas near Carr Elementary School will begin this week. Associate Superintendent Gary Hoskins provided an update on the Future Bonds project work with Gaston County leadership staff, where they favor the process of issuing smaller bond amounts over multiple years versus issuing larger lump sums like we have in the past. Mr. Hoskins also updated the committee on the school business modernization project. The payroll department continues to work to address individual needs, retro pay, and retirement links. Representatives from Cherry Road have been on site to offer support. Both the human resources and financial departments will be fully staffed soon. The committee reviewed and recommended for approval several items on the consent agenda, including contracts for landscaping services for 16 schools and the payment of surcharges for purchase of a dump truck for our facilities and maintenance department. Our next meeting will be Monday, June 6th at 4 o'clock here in the boardroom. And that's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry. Next item on the agenda is a report from the Curriculum and Instruction Committee. Ms. Dot Guthrie is the chair of that committee. The other members of that committee are Justin Davis, Steve Hall, Robbie Lovelace. Ms. Guthrie?
Mrs. Lovelace will be presenting.
All right, thank you.
The Curriculum and Instruction Committee met on May 2nd, 2022. Members present were Dot Guthrie, Justin Davis, Steve Hall, Jeff Ramsey, and Dot Cherry. The meeting was called to order at 12 o'clock p.m. Attorney McGraw reported on the need for board policy updates. Staying current on board policies keeps us in alignment with North Carolina State Board of Education and North Carolina law. This item will be on May 23, 2022 board agenda. Dr. Balknight gave an update on the Teacher Assistance to Teacher Professional Development Program. This item will also be on the May 23, 2022 board agenda. Dr. Balknight gave an overview of reduction in force, strategic planning. This item will be on the May 23, 2022 board consent agenda as well. Dr. Cynthia Reynolds presented information on Title I federal program. This item will be on the May 23, 2022 board consent agenda. Staff presented information on the grant for exceptional children's services. Gaston County Schools must reapply every year for the Individuals with Disabilities Educational Act grant. This grant funds our exceptional children students and the exceptional children pre-K students, which is approximately 5,000 students. This item will be on the May 23, 2022 board consent agenda. Staff shared information on CTE federal grant, which will be presented for action tonight. At this time, DPI has not given us a final budget amount for the 2022-23 school year. The next committee meeting is scheduled for June 6th. The meeting adjourned at 1:05 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Lovelace, and thank you for both committees for working on behalf of our students, staff, and parents. The next item on the agenda is for information item. Mr. Todd Hagens will outline our process for the appointment of Gaston College Board of Trustees.
Good evening, Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Booker. Today we are presenting information to you regarding the Board of Education's appointment to the Gaston College Board of Trustees. Each year, the Board of Education has the responsibility of appointing one member to serve a 4-year term on the Gaston College Board of Trustees. The person chosen by the board for the 4-year term will serve beginning July 1st, 2022 and continuing through June 30th, 2026. Ideally, the person appointed to the Gaston College Board of Trustees should possess knowledge of community needs, awareness of the roles of the North Carolina Community College system and K-12 education, and an understanding of the relationship between county commissioners and funding for public education. While the board appoints a member to the Board of Trustees, an application and interview process takes place before the board votes on who to appoint. This week, we will prepare a news release for distribution and for our website with information about the appointment and the application and interview process. The application will be posted online. Citizens who are interested in the appointment would have an opportunity to complete the application and participate in the interview process. The deadline to submit an application will be 12 o'clock noon on Tuesday, June 14th. This will give the board time to review the applications before conducting the interview process on Monday, June 20th, prior to the regular Board of Education meeting. The appointment will be on the agenda for the June 20th regular meeting, with the person selected by the Board of Education joining the Gaston College Board of Trustees effective July 1st. And Chairman Ramsey, that concludes the information I have for you about the appointment to the Gaston College Board of Trustees.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Any questions or comments for Todd, if you have any? Okay, thank you, Todd. Next on the agenda is 2022-2023 Career and Technical Education, CTE, grant application bid, and this is an action item.
Good afternoon, members of the Gaston County Board of Education. Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chair Cherry, Dr. Booker, it's my pleasure to be here this evening to present the 22-23 CTE Local Application System Grant. That will include our initial planning allotment and the initial budget associated with that. Before I get into that, I would like to take a moment to review our current NCDPI performance data and some new career awareness activities that were implemented in our 21-22 grant. That being said, we were in 1920 number one in the state of North Carolina for career and technical education pathway credentials, industry recognized credentials earned by our student. We've recently learned in 2020, 2021, we were also again number one in the state of North Carolina for pathway credentials earned by our students. Now, one of the things I'd like for you to keep in mind, that's out of 172 PSUs. So now they are including charter schools. And then you think back 2 years ago, you had to make a very powerful decision on how our students would attend school. One of the things you don't see about this list is over 55 PSUs did not have one student earn one credential at all the entire year. So just being able to be in school and have our students participate in some of the things that just cannot happen without you being in school, this is one of those things that this is the effect of a decision made that directly impacted positively what our students were able to do. So very proud of that. And again, these are pathway courses that create concentrators. When our students become concentrators, they then can take the work keys test, which will affect the accountability or report cards for each of our high schools. Something else we did new with the grant, before I get in that, we have now implemented again, forgot the most important thing we're known for, internships and youth apprenticeships. So we have been on over a 1-year pause due to COVID for those. They were reenacted this year. And with that being said, we had students at South Point and, at Stuart Cramer and Cherryville that took advantage of our gyms and Gaston College Youth Apprenticeship Program. And then also we had GSM, Dixon, and Rochling that wanted to participate again with paid internships. So we had students from Stuart Cramer High School and North Gaston High School that took advantage of those things that haven't been taking place for almost 2 years due to COVID. So definitely glad to get those started. And the timing couldn't be better because anyone who's an employer is looking for employees, so this definitely helps that pipeline. Getting into something new we implemented with our grant funds for 21-22, Career and Technical Education has asked all PSUs to try to implement 5th grade career awareness. So start at an earlier age to expose our students to career awareness activities. So we developed a menu, our new middle school career development coordinators. We had a menu of 2 different things, electrical trades and healthcare. Obviously, those align with high demand areas in our community. So we asked all of our elementary schools to participate. We had 5 take us up on the offer, and over 375 students participated. And as you can see with the electrical trades, we take all the safety gear out there, the vest, the glasses. These are actually our students out at GVA. That's Dr. McKay kneeling down in front of the sign. Just a simple task, and we learned how to implement these activities from our Business Advisory Council. So we went out there with some residential house wiring, cut about a 1-foot piece, and handed that to each student, showed them how to properly strip each end of the wires and then connect that with the other classmates' wires using wire nuts. When you have that long continuous strand made, we hooked it up to this sign that says CTE 5th grade rocks. We embedded LEDs into the sign. We didn't buy it that way, so we made it that way. So when the students hook their continuous strand to that, we hook a 9-volt battery to the end, and if they did it correctly, it lights up. If not, they get to learn how to troubleshoot until it lights up. Healthcare, the same thing. We had a 4-station rotation. We took the lab coats out there, nitrile gloves, and they would do a pulse oximeter station, a blood pressure cuff station, infrared thermometer, and then obviously their final one, the one they like the most from the smiles on the faces, the CPR station. So this is the exact same style practice torso we'd use with our EMT and health science program. So when they do the chest compressions properly or improperly, it will light up accordingly, letting them know how they have done that. So really excited about this. Students and administrators enjoyed it. Actually, I think our administrators, some of them, they did the same things and enjoyed it sometimes more, I think, than our students did. So they were right there with them. Like I said, you can see Dr. McKay kneeling down with her students. We always survey our students just to see how they enjoyed it and what can we learn from them. We have over 375 surveyed students. Just picked a couple. So the top 2 are associated with our electrical trades activity. Like you can see, one question, what did you like about today? First one, I like working with other people and being able to light stuff up with wires. And then the next one, I like how we lighted up the sign. This one, definitely a cute one, how easy and fun everything was with the partner. And the dummies are really realistic. I've never done CPR. But I did have it happen to me when I was 7. It hurt. I can't believe people get paid a lot just for doing this. It's super fun and understandable. And finally, I got to try some of the things that are related to the path I want to take, and I was excited that I got to do CPR. So 375 plus of these. You heard a lot of great, good news tonight. Was glad to be able to come and follow up with some of this. It's really neat to watch these students do this and then to read 5th grade responses that make you smile and proud to do what you do because they really enjoy doing that. And finally, something we've always wanted to do pre-COVID is a virtual end-of-year career fair presented to our graduating seniors. We did do this, but it was virtual. So you've heard me speak about our middle school career development coordinators creating digital content in partnership with our businesses. So I have participated in, been involved with attending some virtual career fairs to learn how they take place. So what we did is took our pre-made content, worked with some new businesses to include them on this opportunity also. So total 30 businesses. Recently we were out at Mannington and Steel Fab filming on location there. And then we put all of these videos into one Google form. So if you wouldn't mind clicking on that link. So this is exactly what the students have been working on. So as you scroll through here, we have everything from manufacturing, Piedmont Airlines, food prep. You might recognize this one in the center here, Gaston County Schools. we'll keep going down. Carowinds, Public Safety, Manufacturing, Daimler, UCS, 30 total different businesses. So we've been running this asynchronous from May the 9th to May the 23rd. All of our students can participate in this, and one of the things that's very convenient for our businesses and our students, it being asynchronous allows our businesses continue to do what they're doing and not have to be on live for 2 solid weeks. And then our students, they can access it when it's convenient to them. I was actually looking at this yesterday, Sunday, trying to get some numbers, and 2 students completed surveys on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. So they're accessing it when it's convenient for them. So if you wouldn't mind clicking on Caramount Health, I'll give you a quick preview of exactly what it is they see. See if we can maybe try it one more time. And then could you cook, there it is. Come down to Caramount Health. If it doesn't work, well, I can just give you an update of how it works. So if it did work, all it does is pop up a Google form. The student will put their name, email address, information. They'll watch a video clip, and then they'll go to the next slide. One of the final questions that will allow them to progress or stop is, would you like to be contacted from this particular business? If they say no, they're done. If they say yes, it will ask for more contact information, and then when they would like to be contacted, and they input their phone number into that. So here's something I'm going to ask for you to get the answers in your head. So how many students do you think we have participate in this, presented at our 10 high schools from our high school career development coordinators? And then how many students do you think said, yes, I would like to be contacted by this particular business about a career opportunity? Over 2,500 students visit this and complete a form about an interest or just learning about a business. Over 700 of them said, yes, I would like to be contacted about a business. About a career opportunity. So definitely it's far and beyond any expectation we had. I can tell you from participating in some community events, I've never heard numbers like that. The last day of it is today, so I'm looking forward to pulling down that information to the yeses, cutting that out to our different businesses, and then allowing them to take the final steps to connect with our students, and then hopefully lock in a career opportunity that will set our students up beyond graduation. So really pleased with what we've done this year with our data and the new implementations of career awareness for the 21-22 school year. Moving into our grant for next year, 22-23, just a quick refresher, any of the PSUs in North Carolina that would like to receive federal and state funds from CTE must complete a local application system grant. Our initial planning allotment is a little over $11.6 million. That will go through multiple revisions. That's what's called a planning allotment. And then finally, it supports staff salaries. That's 90% of the total. I'll break that down here in a second. And then also supports our classroom equipment, technology, PD, field trips, credentials, anything and everything that doesn't get us into supplanting that will support CTE programs in 23 schools next year. So we'll have a presence in virtual, and we've already had that in our 10 middle, 11 middle, and then alternative school. Breaking that down further, we will receive it in 3 different fund sources. Program resource code PRC 013. We've been allotted initially 1,420 months of employment. That's a little over $10.6 million. The next fund source will be 014 state program funds. 014 and 017 are very similar in how we can use them. The difference is if it's a 4-year program or older, we're usually going to use state funds. If it's a new program, 0 to 3 years old, we would use our federal funds. As you can see, they're about the same amount. So if you add these 3 fund sources together, you'll get the $11.6+ million total. One of the things that's very unique about CTE, we cannot carry 1 penny over from one year to the next. So if you've heard anything about supply chain shortages or chip shortages, we experience that about weekly. We have an awesome budget analyst, and we'll be promised one thing by a vendor, and the next week we're told we're out, and we have to switch gears to figure out how to spend our money and get our staff everything they need and our students to be successful, which you learned about earlier. And finally, the final breakdown, this is how it will be put into CCIP per your approval, and then the next step will be DPI's approval. The first column, state PRC 014, that's the exact breakdown. I'm not going to go through all of them. It really comes down to 5 different line items will be the bulk or 75% of our state funds. $351, that's tuition and fees. That's actually our credentials that we provide for our students. You just heard about that. And then the bottom 4 line items, supplies and materials, software, equipment, inventory. That's pieces of equipment over $5,000 a piece. And then computer equipment, which we're always heavily invest in because our credentialing, a lot of it's software-based, and it takes some very high-power machines to offer that to our students. And then finally, federal fund source, last 4 line items. Again, if it's a 0 to 3 year program and it's new implementation, that's why you're going to see higher amount of funds in those 4 last line items. And then finally, months of employment, self-explanatory, have a presence in 23 different schools and the staffing it takes to offer those opportunities. That's all I have for tonight about our current status and then what we would like to do future. This is an action item for you, but if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those first.
Mr. Collier?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Buchanan, I'm always just floored at what's going on in Gaston County, especially in our CTE program, and the success. The number of students involved in reaching down into 5th grade is it's just wonderful. I could sit here and rave about it all night. A lot of my friends will tell me, we need that vocational high school. And I said, we got something 10 times better than vocational high school. We have CTE, and we have the right people on top of it. And when they find out a little bit about it, they said, wow, how do we find out more about that? And I said, well, it's there. You just kind of have to look for it. With that, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the CTE local grant application for the 2022-23 year.
Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let me get a second, and then we'll go to Mr. Deb. Okay, Ms. Guthrie?
I wanted to ask Mr. Buchanan if he said that 5 elementary schools participated in the program. Can you identify those schools?
Yes, ma'am. W.A. Best, Beam Intermediate, Sherwood, Gaston Virtual Academy, and Belmont Central Elementary.
How did you pick, how were those schools chosen?
It was offered, presented to our elementary principals, offered the opportunity to them. We had some of them reach out and contact us, and then after 1 or 2 presentations, we had more from word of mouth, call and request from the office that we go out and present to their students.
So is that going to be expanded next year?
Yes, ma'am, that is the goal.
But am I understanding it to be optional? Is
Yes,
that
ma'am,
right?
completely optional, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Guthrie. Before I ask for a vote, I just want to thank you for keeping us #1. So we expect you to be #1 next year, too. But also, these are all about partnerships with the county commissioners, Gaston College, and our Gaston's business community. We just opened Apple Creek. It's half full already because the word is out that we're training kids, CTE, and are looking for good labor, and are coming to Gaston County. So I'd like to thank all our partnerships and you too.
Thank you, sir.
That said, all in favor? Raise your hand. That's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Buchanan. Next item on the agenda is school nutrition 2022-2023 procurement plan and formal bid. This is an action item, and this is our award-winning Angela Calamia.
Thank you, Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chairman Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Booker. I have a very brief school nutrition report for you this evening and 2 action items that are for your approval at the end. Am I done? So just to review what we've done this year, we have been operating under the Seamless Summer program, emergency seamless summer, because obviously it was in summer, where all children receive free breakfast and lunch all year. And it's been great. We had great participation. Over 11,000 breakfasts every day and over 20,000 lunches every day. Really has been exciting, and kids have been enjoying and participating very much. When school began back in August, kids were coming to the cafeteria to get their meal and then going back to the classrooms to eat, as we were still feeling some of the effects of COVID. And as the year progressed, many principals had students come back into the cafeteria and eat. So that's how the year went so far. And looking forward to summer, we have over 30 Gaston County school sites open, for camp, that we will be feeding a hot breakfast and lunch through the month of June, but they're only open till June 30th, and then there's a couple of sites open in July. Any Gaston County school site that is open for camp, we will feed those children for free this summer. We're still under Seamless Summer until June 30th, so we were able to do that. And we're planning on as many as will come, but at least 3,000 kids every day for breakfast and lunch. And then along with that, we're going to continue to serve the community. The last couple of years, that was a little different, but this year we're going to go back to serving the camps in the community out of our central kitchen with mostly cold breakfast and lunch, because we have to deliver that every day to all the various sites. We're in the process of approving all those sites right now, and that's at least going to be another 4,000 children breakfast and lunch. So we're going to have a busy summer. Good. The summer feeding program, like I said, is going to operate Monday to Thursday, and then again for the community, Monday to Friday, because a lot of those campsites are open on Friday. And we are again going to bring our bus service back to go into the communities that have limited access and bring meals actually down into those communities. So we have 3 buses so far that are going to make several stops during the summer each day. So just a little update on the kind of the state of the union here in school nutrition. We have managed to maintain our positive fund balance this year. I look at Mr. Hoskins when I say that. In spite of the rising costs and of everything that we purchase, so that's a good thing. We have been maximizing our giant freezer and storage. I thank God every day for that, because I don't know what we would have done during this pandemic without it. We've been able to purchase directly from manufacturers, and when all these distributors didn't have any product, we were buying truckloads. If you come over to Central Kitchen, you will see the hallways were lined with product, but we had it and we did not miss a beat, and we're able to feed children every day. So that was, I know some districts had a struggle with that. And again, we were able to obtain the products that a lot of people could not obtain. We continue to have as much community outreach as possible, supporting the Head Start pre-K program as we always do, providing their breakfast and lunch each day. We partner with No Kid Hungry and the Dairy Alliance and continue our YMCA partnerships, which will continue again this summer. Looking forward to next year, as the Operations Committee you heard earlier mentioned that next year we will be back to operating under National School Breakfast and Lunch Program, which means that families will have to exhibit a need for free lunch, which means they have to fill out an application. We will maintain our 19 CEP schools. That's important. So those families will not need to do an application. And of course, any programs that are automatically directly certified, like the SNAP program, those students will also have free meals. So it's just the rest have to fill out an application for next school year. And we will start that campaign soon, because we know that it's going to be a learning curve. We've had 2 years where families did not need to worry about that, and we're going to have to get on it soon. The applications can't go out before July 1st, but we'll start our campaign in the month of June to start to educate people and remind them about that process. We have a new software in school nutrition. As we all know, as the district went through Oracle, now our old school nutrition software is not compatible, so we had to go to a program called Titan, which is great. It's innovative and it's cutting edge. However, with every program, you know, there's a learning curve, and we have to teach our whole school nutrition department how to use this program and also to set it up. So we're going to have a busy summer getting that set up. For next year, we want to maintain that breakfast participation that has been growing through the pandemic, as we've been bringing breakfast to children as they get off the bus or in the hallway or as they come in through the door, and I think that's been a great success. So we're going to try to see if we can maintain that moving forward. Also, we're going to continue to buy, as I mentioned, from our manufacturers, continue to be good stewards of our USDA money. School nutrition receives about $1 million every year in USDA commodity money, and you have to make sure you use that appropriately. Otherwise, it's a waste, and you're not a good steward of the federal money. So that's important. We are trying to recruit as much talented staff and retain them as we can. That's, as you know, a struggle for all, I think, all departments. But we're working on that because it is a good job and a rewarding job, and we try to focus on that. And again, continue to online promote our program and get as much information out to families as we possibly can. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And then again, the 2 action items that I have this evening are the approval of the bids. We had to do a new bid this year for a distributor after 5 years. And when you go to approve the bids for me for next year, you're going to notice a big increase in the price on that. And I wanted to explain that to you, but that's, because of fuel and shipping charges and the price of food and supplies that has doubled and sometimes tripled. So,
Okay,
the
yeah.
other,
I would, Mr. Chair, if I may, she glossed over something.
what did I do?
When you talk about lining the hallways with food, stuffing the frozen area with all that it could, I have colleagues that were incredibly envious of the work done by our school nutrition. They may have had to adjust a menu. They may have had to say, we're going to do this differently this way, but never did they not deliver a nutritious meal. Never did we have to say, we're out of this and can't feed. And it was just not done, but it was forward-thinking by the leadership of the school nutrition department, as well as by the cafeteria managers and the staff managing quantities and understanding what they needed to be able to meet that. And we're very fortunate to have the resources that allowed her to make the purchases in advance, but also the ability to see that. And I really don't think we can say enough thank you to that whole group and what they have done for this whole community throughout this time.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Mr. Cherry has a question. Go ahead.
Angela, what type of communication are you going to be doing, just to let the public know what to look for, besides our typical putting on the website and so forth about the what's going to be rolled out this summer and the applications and so forth, so they can be keeping an eye out?
Right, so we plan to mail applications home to families with, an explanation and instructions, and again, on the website.
Well, and especially about the summer feeding within the community and our students, because that's obviously a wonderful thing that we're able to do. But and I know that we've reached so many people last year, but we want to make sure that they know that that's available again, especially the buses going into the communities. So I don't know how you're planning on getting that information out.
There are flyers already on their way to the schools to go into teachers' mailboxes and book bags to go home to students with the sites and the locations and all that.
Ms. Guthrie?
First of all, I want to say that your managerial skills are just excellent. I want to congratulate you on being the Central Office Administrator of the Year.
Thank you. That was an honor, thank you.
And what you just said, you're going to do for children and what you have done for this Gaston community and families, we greatly appreciate that. And, when I first saw the big yellow school bus there on the campus at Tabernacle, it really did bring tears to my eyes. Someone was thinking of the children even during the most challenging times. And those buses that bus was not parked there just by happenstance. Someone had to make plans to put together the meal for the family and for the children. Your thoughtfulness and your compassion for what you do to help support, because not only are the academics important, but every piece of the puzzle is important for us to claim a successful school year. So I want you to know that you're greatly appreciated for what you do and for what you say to your staff and how well you work together. So thank you so much.
And thank you. And I do feel appreciated. And I have a lot of help, so I'm very fortunate.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'd be remiss if I did not say that a woman can make a a cookie that is wonderful. I hope she'll bring some to our next operational committee meeting.
Okay.
And
They
it's
were great.
non-fattening, I'm hearing too.
They're really
Low
good.
calories.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Kevin?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept the Gaston County Schools Nutrition 2022-2023 procurement plan.
Second by Ms. Cherry. Any other discussion? That said, thank you from behalf of the board for what you've done for us 2 years to navigate to get this food to the kids, no matter if it was in school or out of school, and thank you again. That said, all in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Modified accountability system, World Academy. This is an action item.
Good evening, Chairman Ramsey, Vice Chair Cherry, members of the board, and Superintendent Booker. Tonight, I come to you seeking approval of the Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System for both Warlick Academy and Webb Street School. The Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System was developed in 2014-15 to provide accountability information for eligible schools instead of these schools receiving a school performance grade. However, beginning with the 17-18 school year, alternative schools began to receive a performance grade for specific purposes. But the Alternative Schools Accountability System continues to be used for reporting accountability information and serves as a supplement to the school performance grade reporting. For the 2022-23 school year, local boards of education must approve the option of each identified school who will participate in the modified system for the 2022-23 school year and report this decision to the NCDPI's Division of Accountability Services. Warlick Academy and Webb Street School continue to meet the eligibility criteria to participate in the Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System and will continue to use the same model option used in previous years. We are asking that Warlick Academy and Webb Street School continue to use Option B, formerly known as the Progress Model. Option B is made up of 20% academic persistence, 20% achievement, and 60% growth. The school will receive a change rating that compares the current year to the previous year. Thank you, Chairman Ramsey. That is all that I have.
I think you're next on the agenda here. We got to get a
Yep.
motion, so we are going to do both of them. That's what, Sonia, you just want to put them together? Okay. Okay. We're going to put them together, so you
That
can
is
go and
fine.
do. Oh, they're both of them?
Yep.
Okay.
It's for Warlick and Webb.
Mr.
Go
Chair,
ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to combine item 15 and 16 on the agenda, the Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System for both Warlick Academy and for Webb Street School.
Okay, second by Ms. Cherry. Any discussion? All in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Powers. Next item is Board of Policy Update. Information item is our attorney, Sonia McGraw.
Thank you, Chairman Ramsey, and you have had a wonderfully full meeting, so you'll be delighted to know that most of your work on this item will come between now and the next meeting. I've presented to you a list in your board book of the policies that will need to be updated. As is our custom, staff has reviewed the changes that are recommended by the School Boards Association, and those recommendations are usually based on changes in state and federal law or state board policies. And so we bring those to you tonight. The full drafts of those policies are posted online for not only you to review, but anyone else who chooses to do so. If you have any questions about any of those, I'll be happy to address those with you, and we'll bring them back to you at your next board meeting, June 21st. So those are already out there, and I'll send you a link to those as well.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McGraw. This brings us to the consent agenda. The next item on the agenda is several, I say a lot of items on our consent agenda tonight. So take a look at this list, and do I hear a motion to approve this? Ms. Cherry, second by Ms. Guthrie. All in favor? That's unanimous. This brings us time to our meeting to hear from Dr. Booker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. There are a lot of things to share with you tonight. First, I want to thank you for all the approvals on the consent agenda. This reflects the work that your committees have done, where you've had presentations by academic services or our operations team to do that. And so a lot of the work, and this is all preparatory for our budgets for next year, but all that is delineated, and I appreciate you all's review of that and approval. It would be just remiss to have a meeting like this and not talk about our ongoing Oracle opportunity. I saw some folks cringe when we heard school nutrition having to change their system. Yes. You know, we should never forget that North Carolina session passed a law. It was called the School Business System Modernization in Session Law 2016-94, Section 815. And the State Board of Education shall collaborate, to develop plans to modernize the systems used by the Department of Public Instruction. This shall include all LEA and charter enterprise resource planning platforms, state-level reporting for financial, human resources, student information, state-level licensure, etc. This was a program that was done. We started working multiple districts, and through attrition, we were the district that got to the payroll part first. No one has said it has gone well, and no way is it over. I can't say enough to our employees, sorry, to the people that have been just impacted by this ongoing. Staff trying to work with it, financial secretaries trying to help staff answer questions, payroll, human resources, all the folks. But it still gets back to we are trying to pay people for work they have completed, and that is of utmost importance. I know people have sent, because I see emails where they show 4 times that they've asked for an answer, and that sometimes it's that they're trying to get the answer for them. That's not an excuse for someone not getting a yes back, but it's just they're researching it, they're trying to work on it. The best news I have to share with the board is that today, and I'm going to pull up the statistics, we ran what is known as a retro payment, trying to clean up for our biweekly, this is the people paid every 2 weeks, some of the errors from January and February. And some of March may have been caught in that. This is something we have been trying to work with the 2 consulting firms since February to have accomplished. And I can say as late as last Monday, we thought we would be saying that it was already completed. But the good news is our employees, the biweekly employees, can look tonight in their Oracle account and see what they're being retro paid for. So there are a number of people out there that are owed 6 hours for this or 8 hours for this where it wasn't done. And there's no excuse for it taking this long other than to say it has been continually worked on and submitted, run, failed run, etc. We have numerous issues on 2 of the different retirement contribution plans that are third-party plans. You can't make it up. One of the third-party plans was bought by someone else who's going through a conversion. So you have a conversion on both sides of the equation. Again, no excuses, but to say that we are as frustrated as anyone and we continue to try and address these issues. I appreciate your patience with it and listening to it. And listening is sometimes is helpful, but it still doesn't give people their money. I can tell you there are people sitting in this room who still have not gotten their longevity checks because we have not tried to work on that to solve some of that because we're trying to solve these other problems first because we've had to make decisions on what pieces of the apple to bite first. Also, I know there's concerns because our teacher payroll will run at the end of this month and they're used to, oh, that's my 10th payment. We, through your support, are going to be paying bonuses to people who, so there'll be a June check run for that payment. Any teacher who has not received payment for working as a plug-in, payment for helping as a tutor, payment for helping drive a bus, because they've done everything this year, folks, they're going to get that compensation. It doesn't have to be in this final check. We'd love for it to be, but it may not make that. So we continue to do it. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I just want you to know it is not for lack of understanding or this, but it gets into fixing one thing to do something different, then complicates and doesn't get that fixed. We've been trying to bite at that apple. And I thank everyone for their patience and support on that. And there will never be a perfect payroll, but daggone, we should be running better ones than we are. But it's not for lack of effort of the people involved in the process, from the employees submitting information to the people processing it to the banks helping us pay it. So I just appreciate you all listening to me describe that.
Is that all, Dr. Book?
I have other more positive things to share.
Okay.
It is graduation season, and Mr. Hall and Mr. Ramsey joined me the other night for our Gaston Early College High School graduation. 51 seniors, 49 of them earning a 2-year associate's degree.
That's huge.
Start doing, yes, ma'am. You start doing the math on what that's worth to our community, what's that worth to students and opportunity. It's just incredible, and I appreciate all the work that goes on. And I want our pre-K teachers, our kindergarten teachers, all the way through to understand those 51 seniors started with us somewhere. This is just a culmination of a great career with Gaston County Schools. Excited that next Wednesday, June the 1st, we'll have our Virtual Academy graduation, Warlick Academy graduation, and Webb Street graduations, which will then lead into the June 4th graduations for all of our traditional high schools. So look on your school's websites regarding that, and follow in social media, because we're going to have some senior profiles to recognize these outstanding students, many of whom you saw tonight will be recognized further because their accomplishments go beyond the brief time we had with them tonight. Also, want to remind our parents that we have a survey that is still open for parents to give us feedback about this school year and some things that we are looking for feedback on. It will be open until 5 p.m. We've already had a very strong response, but please, we encourage anyone who has not completed the survey to do it. You can go to the announcement section on our website, and there's a link to the survey. We are near the end of school, but it is still a busy time. We have end-of-year testing continuing in our elementary and middle schools. Our high schools will begin exams next Wednesday. There are all kinds of award ceremonies tonight, concerts going on, and numerous other year-end activities taking place. It's just a great celebration. We'll remind everyone that Monday is a holiday, so there is no school on May 30th, Memorial Day, and then we'll come back to finish our school year out on the 1st. So I want to thank again our students for their great accomplishments and what they've done through all the ups and downs of the pandemic this year, our parents, teachers, and all the employees who've worked very hard to get us to this point. It's been a good school year. It's been a different one, and it's challenged us in many ways, but when you see the end, people have worked hard to get us here. And I know the board joins me in expressing appreciation to the whole Gaston County area and for the support they've given us, but particularly to our families and to our great employees. And summer break, as Dr. Balknight and I were in a meeting today, she said, summer break, we're going till June. We'll start this in July, and then we'll have teaching and learning April 5th. So as one of my old bosses used to say, yes, August, excuse me, thank you, August 5th. One of my old bosses used to say, sleep fast, we're going to be back at it quick. So, but I thank you everyone for the support of that, and we will be prepared on August 17th to open our schools again. But let's finish this year strong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do need to ask the board for a closed session for personnel.
Okay. Well, thank you, and thank for all of you intention to have worked what is best for our students, teachers, and community. We look forward to our next regular meeting, which is scheduled for June the 20th, 2022. Thank you for your commitment to Gaston County Schools. We appreciate all that you've done. We hope everyone has a restful summer break, and our board is looking forward for graduation celebration on June the 4th. And I'd just like to say again, thank you for our staff for going the extra mile this past 2 years and stepping up to the plate that we never will hopefully experience again. And thank you for them words on the payroll. And we're just as frustrated as everybody else, but we're going to get it done. I do know that. So that said, I need a motion to go into closed session. Mr. Collier.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, paragraph A6 for personnel, and under the same statute, paragraph A3 for consultation with attorney.
Second.
Ms. Cherry, all in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. We're in closed session. We're back in open session. Dr. Booker?
Members of the board, I would like to recommend for the Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. Keisha Cohn.
Make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the superintendent.
All right, do I have a second? Mr. Dedman? Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous.
Thank you, members of the board. Next, I have 3 assistant principal. These will be for 2-year contracts because these are new assistant principals joining the district. Stephanie Moose, Carmen Adams, and Jenny Carper.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we accept the contracts for Stephanie Moose, Jenny Carper, and Carmen Adams.
Second. Mr. Moore, second. All in favor? That's unanimous.
Thank you. Members of the board, I would like to recommend the following individuals for 2-year principal contracts. Anara Henderson, Amy Tollison, Patrick Watson, Joshua White, Jada Owenby, Bridget Best, and Kimberly Reese.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I recommend, I make a motion that we accept Dr. Booker's recommendations for the principal contracts.
Second by Ms. Guthrie. Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous.
Thank you, members of the board. We are still in the process of interviewing assistant principals and principals, so the process is still open, and we may have more appointments as we meet again. With the appointments that you have just approved, I would like to make the following assignments to principals for next year. At Catawba Heights, Stacy Bradley. Woodhill Elementary, Anair Henderson. Belmont Central, Amy Tollison. Cherville Elementary, Patrick Watson. W.B. Beam Intermediate, Joshua White. Costner Elementary, Jada Owenby. Southwest Middle School, Glenn Cook. Replacing Mr. Cook at Pleasant Ridge would be Bridget Best. North Gaston High School, Crystal Hauser. Replacing Ms. Hauser at Forest View High School would be Jamie Peoples. Replacing Ms. Peoples at Mount Holly Middle would be Tyler West. Replacing Ms. West at Pinewood would be Kimberly Reese. These appointments are effective July 1st. So thank you for the time today. I really appreciate you recognizing all the students earlier today. It's a great honor to see those students today. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. I need a motion for adjournment. Mr. Dedman.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make that motion to adjourn this evening.
And I will second it, sir.
Okay, all in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you.